Welcome to today's daily release. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Christina. Today we're diving into the self-love and worthiness domain, and we're tackling a belief that keeps so many people running on empty, and that is self-care is selfish.
Ooh, this one hits home for a lot of people. You know you need rest. You know you need to take care of yourself. But there's this voice that says, who do you think you are? Other people need you. You don't have time for that.
Yeah, and so you push through, you ignore your needs, and eventually you're giving from an empty cup. But you tell yourself, this is what good people do.
But here's the truth. Self-care isn't selfish. It's sustainable. And today we're using the LifeSet framework to release the guilt, understand what's happening in your nervous system, and rewire towards seeing self-care as essential so you can restore your capacity to show up well. Now, Christina, what's usually happening in the brain when someone believes self-care is selfish?
Well, again, this is a generalization. It's impossible to say this one thing is what happens every time. But we see this belief usually getting wired early. If you grew up in an environment where your needs were dismissed, minimized, or came last, or where you saw caregivers sacrifice themselves completely, your brain learned, my needs don't matter. Other people's needs come first. Taking care of myself is selfish.
So it becomes the operating system.
Exactly. And here's what often happens neurologically. When you even think about doing something for yourself, taking a break, saying no, prioritizing rest, your amygdala flags it as a threat. Not a physical threat, but a social threat. Your brain is predicting, if I take care of myself, people will think I am selfish. They'll be disappointed. They'll need me, and I won't be there.
And that's exhausting.
It is exhausting.
But so you're saying self-care can trigger guilt and anxiety.
It really can. And that guilt often feels so uncomfortable that most people just don't do the self-care. They avoid that discomfort by continuing to deplete themselves. But what is actually happening is you're choosing short-term relief from guilt over long-term sustainability. And without self-care, you can't restore your nervous system's capacity.
Well, and eventually that catches up with you.
It does, because your body has limits. And what most people don't realize when you are constantly depleted, constantly running on empty, you are not providing as much as you could. You are not as able to do.
Right.
So you might consistently be doing two things, but you might not be doing it well.
Right.
You might be not doing it correctly even. And so it ends up being something of a doom loop.
Right. A self-fulfilling prophecy in a way.
Yeah, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of, I try and it's just never good enough. And then that limits more. That's more stress on your body.
Right.
We are removing the things, the blocks in your body and your brain.
Exactly. We see people very often who get into complete burnout, caregiver burnout.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Because your nervous system has a capacity limit. And so when you consistently override those limits, your body will eventually force you to stop.
Right.
Through illness, injury, complete burnout, you cannot skip the restore phase indefinitely.
No.
It will come. One way or another, your body will force the restore.
It will. Now, from a naturopathic perspective, I see this belief create profound physical consequences. When people chronically ignore their needs, their bodies are running in constant stress mode. So there again, we're going to have elevated cortisol, disrupted sleep, compromised digestion, weakened immune function. And by disrupted sleep, you might be going to sleep, but it might be the quality and the depth of your sleep.
Yeah. Well, self-care isn't just about bubble bath and face masks.
No. Self-care is meeting your body's basic needs: sleep, nutrition, movement, rest, hydration, connection. Now, these are not luxuries. They're requirements for your body to function well. And there they are. They are how your body is going to restore its own systems.
Yeah, so when someone says, I don't have time for self-care, what they're really saying is,
I don't have time to restore my body's basic operating systems, which is like saying, I don't have time to put gas in my car. Eventually, you're going to run out.
That's right. And I will put a point in and say, bubble baths and face masks are also restorative.
They are.
So we're not discounting those things.
No. But if you have the basics going and you get in that bubble bath, I'm like, you're having a great day.
That's a great day.
It is.
And also, back to what we were saying, being the belief that self-care is selfish often comes from environments where there weren't enough resources. So Maybe your parent was a single mom working 3 jobs, and she literally didn't have the capacity for self-care. So you learned sacrifice is love,
Yeah.
depletion is normal, needs are burdens.
And so sometimes we do have those hard times, and there's no shame on that.
That's right.
And we can honor that people have made those sacrifices for us, but also take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
Now, because that's a survival strategy, and it makes sense in
Sometimes.
those moments.
Yeah.
But, if you have resources, then those choices aren't going to actually serve you now.
Well, it's kind of like a map. And then the town changes a lot, and there are new streets and there are new bridges. You have the town's changed. And so if you're trying to go by the old map, it's not going to be as successful as going by the current map.
Yeah.
Your current situation.
Right.
Not the situation from before.
Right. And this is about resourcing yourself.
Yeah.
So have everything at your disposal available to yourself.
Mm-hmm. So.
Right. And well, here's something important.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're depleted, you actually aren't giving your best to others. I mean, basically it's like giving leftovers because you're doing the best you can in the situation, but it's easy to become irritable, resentful, exhausted, even disconnected.
That's right. And I think a lot of people have heard this, but I love it, that the story here with the airplane, oxygen mask drops. You have to put your own mask on first, not because you're selfish, but because you're useless to everyone if you pass out.
Right.
Self-care is how you restore so you can actually show up.
Right.
And show up for others and show up for yourself.
Exactly. And it's ensuring that you have something to give.
That's right. All right, let's do a release on this.
Let's do a release.
How do we want to do it? A little bit of discovery here.
Right.
Now, remember, releases are general. They're not events. I don't want it to be an event or an actual situation.
Yeah, this is a daily release. It's not a full session, which would be on an event, which an event is this thing happened and there's a lot of feeling or emotion in it and unwinding that. We are going with the general overwhelm. I'm not doing self-care.
Mm-hmm. Discovery.
What I've heard people say, well, even though self-care feels selfish.
Mm-hmm. I feel guilty taking care of myself is one I hear.
Mm-hmm. My needs don't matter.
Ooh.
But I've had some people that just they've served so long and it's kind of like it is so ingrained. And so I've started with some people, I'm open to the possibility that self-care is okay. So if that's where you're at, that's a good place to start.
Do a little bit of discovery for yourself and write down what works for you. And I really like, I feel guilty taking care of myself because it's not so much of a tongue twister.
Well, and I think we've all been there. It's like, buying that thing. I love when I'm giving a gift to somebody to be the one thing they wouldn't get for themselves. And I've had people where I bought them a nice shampoo conditioner set.
Yeah.
I mean,
because they want to,
they wouldn't. It's even though it's not expensive, they wouldn't do it. It's just kind of out of that range of what they would do for themselves.
Yeah. So I think
nice lotion.
Yes, nice lotion. So for today's release that you and I will do is, and we'll do one round, is even though I feel guilty taking care of myself.
Right. And if you're feeling, you remember the traffic light, red light, yellow light, green light on the intensity. But it's always a fine thing to do a round of just the basic breathing first. But we're just going to do a round of the daily release. And typically we would do 3 rounds.
Okay. So tapping the side of your hand. Now check your system. So what do we do? 4 below, you're good to go?
4 and below, good to go.
If it's between 5 to 7.
And
this, just guess. I don't want you to actually be like,
Don't do math.
Don't do math. This is guessing.
5 to 7, even 5 to 6 with caution.
With caution. And if it's above that, if it's
7 and above, get into the community.
Get into the community, and I invite you to just do a round of breathing, and you can put this aside for right now. And just receive without doing, if it's safe.
Right.
Alrighty, so if you write your numbers down, and we'll begin. So even though I feel guilty taking care of myself.
I feel guilty taking care of myself.
All right, and now the ending, right here and right now I'm okay?
It could be that.
Or I deeply and completely accept myself.
deeply and completely accept myself helps us if we have a lot of shame feelings. But if it doesn't feel right, or if it feels stressful, right here, right now I'm okay. Right here, right now I'm safe. Or even I understand how I can feel that way.
Awesome.
So you choose your ending.
I'm going to do I deeply and completely.
Okay.
All right, so starting from the beginning.
Oh, we're
Even
going to
though
start over. All right. Even though
I feel guilty,
I feel guilty,
taking care of myself,
taking care of myself,
I deeply
I deeply
and completely
and completely
accept myself.
accept myself.
Even though
I feel guilty,
I feel guilty,
taking care of myself,
taking care of myself,
I deeply
and
and completely
accept myself.
accept myself.
Even though
Even though
I feel guilty,
I feel guilty,
taking care of myself,
taking care of myself,
I deeply
I deeply
and
and completely
accept myself.
accept myself.
Top of the head, I feel guilty,
I feel guilty,
taking care of myself,
taking care of myself.
I feel guilty,
I feel guilty. Good release.
taking care of myself,
Taking care of myself.
I feel guilty,
I feel guilty
taking care of myself,
for taking care of myself.
I feel guilty,
I feel guilty
taking care of myself,
taking care of myself.
I feel guilty,
I feel guilty
taking care of myself,
for taking care of myself.
I feel guilty
I feel guilty
for taking care of myself.
for taking care of myself.
Collarbone, I feel guilty
I feel guilty
for taking care of myself.
for taking care of myself.
I feel guilty
I feel guilty. Good release.
for taking care of myself.
For taking care of myself.
Okay. Check how that feels.
Take a gentle breath.
Take a gentle breath and write it down. And I invite you to do 3 rounds. Hit pause and we'll wait.
Yeah.
So what I want you to understand is a lot of the time, the very best of people and the very most honest of people and the most good of people struggle with this.
Yeah.
You know, good people sacrifice themselves.
Right.
Is a limiting belief. Or your needs are a burden, or feeling guilty when you take a rest, and or one that I hear is taking care of myself means letting others down.
Right. Right. Now it's good to help. It's good to be helpful.
It's good.
But we need that internal honesty with ourselves that it's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
And we do it. We say do it as unto the Lord.
Yeah.
But there's not guilt with that. We do what we can do, but the guilt is definitely going to work against us.
Yeah, because it's self-care allows you to show up better for yourself and better for others.
Well, honestly too.
Yeah, and honestly too.
Because sometimes we're doing care for others and that's all we can do. And then it's like, if I could only do more, and that's not in our ability to control.
That's right. One of the best things I've ever had was understanding what I can do.
Yeah.
And doing that to the best of my ability.
Not what you should do. Be careful with your shoulds.
Shoulds are powerful.
Yeah. Because shoulds are often, like I say, I don't lie.
Yeah.
Except the lies I tell myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I find those lies are my shoulds. I should have done better at this.
If only
And that's the thing. It's not a standard I would have had for anybody else but myself.
Yeah.
And so without even realizing it, it is a lie.
Yeah. Because self-care is how you restore your capacity to give. So I want you to take a breath, a gentle breath, as you do these rounds and notice what shifted.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to the action step.
I love action steps.
And again, from a neuro-coaching perspective, self-care is not selfish. It's strategic.
Yeah.
When you are resourced, regulated, and rested, you're more patient, more creative, more present, and even more generous. You actually have more to give. And with generous, I don't mean like money. I mean like, time. Oh yeah, and it's more fun.
Yeah.
When you're doing it from a restored place, it's so much better than doing it from depleted, anxious, upset, grinding your teeth.
Well, just gritting through.
And sometimes,
I'm not saying that there's a bad attitude, but if you don't have anything to give, it's
hard.
It is, yeah. It's a grind.
Yeah.
So what would you practice this week?
Okay. Well, I would say release first. One self-care practice you've been avoiding because it feels selfish. So maybe it's sleeping in on when you have time, taking a walk, saying no to a commitment, or asking for help. Notice the guilt that comes up and release it through tapping.
Yes, very good. Now, second, rewire. We're going to do that one thing this week. And when the guilt comes up, and it will, because it's the habit, remind yourself, Self-care is how I maintain my capacity to care for others. You're rewiring the association between self-care and selfishness.
That's right. And so finally, restore.
Mm-hmm.
Key piece. Notice what happens when you actually take care of yourself. Do you have more patience, more energy, more presence, better mood? That evidence helps you restore trust in the self-care process and that it serves everyone, not just you. Each time you practice self-care, you're actively restoring your nervous system's capacity.
Right. You're not selfish for having needs. You're human. And honoring your humanity through the release, rewire, restore process allows you to show up as your best self.
Alrighty. So self-care isn't taking away from others. It's ensuring you have something real to give. Release the guilt, rewire the belief, and restore your capacity.
Thanks for being here.
All right. See ya.